the lane, and then we can run up the field. And yeah, I didn't turn off the worker, so the harvester is costing us money. Oh. And I forgot to put us on 3 time. Sneak in there. Press the right unload button this time. Going to try and keep this as flat as possible. So, equipment. We have. So this little thing is 194 horsepower. That's brilliant. Our plough is 180 horsepower. We could haul the plough with it. Cultivator, 220. Not happening. That's sad. Seeder is oh, that's the seed tank, idiot. Seeder is 200 horsepower, so they're a little on the high side for the little Renault to do, but the Renault can do tasks I kind of want to take away from the green tractor, the Deutz. They're all green, except the orange one. Yeah, so the Deutz has crop sensors and narrow tyres and stuff like that. So I'd like to limit the usage of that to I'd like to limit that to spraying and fertilizing and those sorts of tasks. The Renault can be used for tedding and baling, and generally, you know, the grass work that we do, we'll stop using the Deutz for. And I guess eventually we could consider dropping the horsepower of the tractor that the Deutz currently is. When it comes time to replace it, we can go with something a little bit smaller, class 5-ish. So something like the Massey 5, maybe some other smaller tractor. But all of our tractors are now recent purchases. This one is 43 hours, but I'm going to kind of keep it anyway. So going back to maintenance. So the age of the age of the vehicle does not affect maintenance cost. Basically, it's per percent damaged times the price at that initial damage percentage, times the original value of the vehicle. So obviously if you're 1% damaged, it's going to cost you $1. If you're 2% damaged, it's going to cost you $1.50 per unit of fix, so it would cost you $3 total. It's not quite that severe, but that's the general idea. At 3%, you're talking $2 per repair, so it's going to cost you $6 to repair it. At 4%, it's going to cost you $2.50, so 2.5 times 4 is $10. That's kind of how it progresses. The more damage you have taken, the greater it costs per percentage point. So you kind of want to repair often. Now the rate they get damaged is absolutely based on vehicle age and number of hours, primarily hours. The more hours a vehicle has, the more frequently you have to fix it. Not it costs you more, the more frequently you have to fix it. So at 0 hours, we could take our old Valtra. Once it hit 30%, it would cost us $3,000 to fix it. No, $4,000 to fix it at 30% damage. So at 70% remaining, our class is currently on 92% at the moment. So at 70%, our Valtra Q cost $4,000. But at 50 hours, it's going into the shop 4 times more frequently at 70% maintenance rate or maintenance level. So 50 hours, vehicles get damaged 4 times faster, accrue damage 4 times faster than they do at brand new. And that's the top level. So it will never get more frequent to fix it, but you're still 4 times more frequently. At 40%, it's less. And it's a fairly linear rate from 1 times at 0 hours to 4 times at 50%. So at 25%, it's twice as it gets damaged twice as quickly as it would at 0%. And am I on the way? Probably in the way. Yes, I am. Sorry. We will get out of your... Oh, he's cutting wide. Oh, it is. Sorry. Crashing into it. Let's get all the way out of the way. There you go. Now the age of a vehicle also affects it but by a much less significant rate. Vehicles can go up to 600 months before they're considered maximum age. And the difference is it may damage twice as fast as it does at 0 months. So it's not a big deal. And the linear increase of it means a vehicle at 1 month old is gets damaged about as frequently as a vehicle 2 months old, 3 months old, and you really have to go a long way before it makes sort of a 10% difference. So 600 months divided by 12 is 50 years. Oh, we're going all the way around the field. Okay, I can do that. I'm good. Oh, shoot. So when we're buying used equipment, it's not really a concern as to how many months is on it. It's more a concern of how many hours. So that Renault is 40 months old. That's 3.5 years old. And it has 25 hours on it. Now the significant thing is 25 hours means it's going to accrue damage twice as fast as if we bought a brand new one. but the 40 months is negligible in the grand scheme of how much it's going to cost to maintain it. Plus it's dirt cheap, so being dirt cheap, the actual cost to maintain is going to be significantly less. Now the other video that Disturbed Simulations released this week was based on equipment levels. He took a quad track, base model 470, and he actually showed it was the base model 470 and the fully upgraded 640. And then he went and upgraded the 470 to have the 640 engine. The cost to repair was based on the purchase cost, not on the total cost. I thought it was total cost. But the bottom line is, the way you want to do... If I swing really wide, can I get out of here without messing around? It's probably a no. We'll drive into this field again. I really shouldn't. I should take ownership of this field sometime. So when you're buying a new tractor, what you should be doing is just buying a base model and then fitting all of the optional extras as dealer fitted options effectively, rather than factory fitted, as they call it. So this Claas 940 has no optional extras on it, but I could now go upgrade the tyres, put wheel weights on it, put a GPS on it. It will not affect how much it costs to maintain it, because it was what it was fitted with at purchase. The Valtra Q that I bought, technically a big mistake. What I should have done was bought the Valtra Q base, then added GPS and reverse drive as factory fitted options, and possibly even loader arms as well. But I didn't, so it ended up costing me significantly more than this tractor costs to maintain, by $1,000 for a third of the horsepower. So we've already seen there can be huge consequences to putting stuff you don't want on your tractor, or you don't absolutely need on your tractor, on the tractor. But technically there's nothing stopping me adding GPS to this tractor. It will not change how much it's costing me to maintain it. The Renault is, I upgraded the engine to 195. That cost me 20,000. It would have cost me 20,000 anyway, but that's now factored into the maintenance bill. The Deutz, I don't think... We put the Azaria crop sensors on it. I put narrow tyres on it, but I think narrow tyres are a wash. They don't cost more, so it's no big deal. But there is something to be said. We should be looking for absolute basic equipment, and then picking it up from the store, taking it round to the service yard, and having what we want added to it, be it loader arms, be it wheel weights, be it wide tyres, all of the stuff. Don't do it at purchase, do it at as a update, as a dealer fitted option. So going forward, that is the plan for the farm. And here we are. And Mrs. Osa is back from taking teenage Osa out. She's out for the entire day. So we just have the small kids who are watching TV. I will be going off microphone for a couple of minutes. Hey, we're back. So I've been noticing the crop destruction going on. It's the Claas and its wide tyres are ripping up the ground where we've already harvested. So a little bit of an issue at the end of the field with the tracking on the forager head pipe. So I kind of have to come in behind it, which 2 headlands is not giving me a lot of room. But having managed to get it rotate that way, I can now pull up alongside because it's off to the right of the harvester. And as I said, it would be nicer to have a bigger header. This is small harvester, small header. But then again, if we get a bigger header, we're going to fill up the trailer faster, and we're going to have to do a lot more frequent carting. It's only 9 o'clock. Now, Disturb Simulations did find one thing with the whole buy the base tractor and do all of your options after you've bought it. And that is, when it comes to sell the tractor, it's worth more if you pay to have all of the stuff factory fitted. So our Valtra T that we have is worth far more with the reverse drive and the GPS installed at purchase time than it would be if we just bought a Valtra T and then added those as maintenance options in the dealership. There it goes, because the pipe's out on the right side now. It can't see me, so I have to get it to react and swing around the back. And then, now it's on the right side, I can come in here and it will just pick up and go. We're nearly full, so there we go. We are full. But obviously, if you buy a tractor from new, if you keep it a long time, it's much better to consider your maintenance costs per repair session than it is to consider your sale costs. If you're not going to keep them for a long time, maybe the repair costs aren't as important. Also, the cheaper the tractor is, the lower the cost to maintain is anyway. Let's turn. Oh, I actually managed to get out that way, and Mr. FedEx is here.
For 8 hours, which is forever.
Forever, yes.
What did
beads out.
Okay, now I want to be very careful
I'm definitely by school.
unloading this here.
But we are like preschool, so you do fun things.
The problem was when I did the grass, I had a huge mound at the far end, and it was really, really difficult for the tractor to roll it flat. And Mr. FedEx is working in tandem. I guess it's time to train the new people for the winter push. We had that with, who came yesterday? UPS guy came yesterday, and there were 2 of them in the truck.
Are there 2 people here?
One is probably new on the job, so they're getting trained.
Okay. So we'll take a look at that. Yeah, it's still heaping up at the back. I probably want to spread thin along the front there, and then try and keep the fill rate fairly constant.
Could she just put the package down?
Okay, let's go.
Who cut these out?
I could hitch the. We'll see.